Man has always had an impact on the environment. Since the onset of human civilizations, we have been modifying the land and its resources to use it for our own benefit. This has, as usual, led to a lot of drawbacks. These drawbacks are now seen in the environment as humans are increasing in their numbers. Today, we are a population of 7 billion people on this planet, and that population is definitely using the resources of the planet, and this resource use and the after waste that comes out is causing a lot of problems. Now, from man and its impact on the environment perspective, this is a environmental ecology phenomena. However, I want to discuss a few examples of these things, of the impact that man has on the environment, so that you have a clearer picture of these things when we go ahead. So let us have a look at the phenomena or the impact that man has on the environment. The first one is your climate change. For any person who is into UPSC, no one needs an introduction to climate change. Climate change is a phenomena that is observed world over. I will just tell you what are the gases that are causing this phenomena. You have carbon dioxide, you have methane, you have nitrous oxide, okay, then you have CFC, HFC gases, okay. So these are the gases, and NOx, okay. These are the gases that are causing this phenomena, okay. Apart from that, I'll not be discussing a lot in climate change because that is something very fresh and I need you to read it from environment and ecology on a broader scale. And from geographical perspective, it doesn't occur in single region, so we cannot talk about it that much. Now, the next phenomena is acidification. The industrial activities that man carries out emits sulfur dioxide and nitrous oxide in the environment as gases. These gases, they go into the clouds and they react with the water there to form sulfuric acid and nitrous acid, nitric acid. Okay, sorry, this is nitrous acid. Don't write nitric, okay? Nitrous acid. So you have nitrous dioxide going in there to form nitrous acid. So these two acids, they come down with precipitation on the earth's surface as acid rain. Now this acid rain phenomena is observed in Scandinavia. Okay, it is observed in Canada. It is observed in Japan and northeast India. Okay, so these are the regions where you will find a lot of acid rain happening. Okay, now the third impact that humans have on earth is waste management. Man consumes a lot of food products and non-food products in his daily life. This gives rise to a lot of waste. Even the industries that we have produce goods and give out certain industrial effluents. The nuclear industry that we have give out a different kind of effluents. The pharma industries give out a biohazardous effluent. So all these effluents are not being treated and have caused certain problems. So what are the different effluents and what are the problems caused by it? Firstly, you have something called as urban waste. In urban waste, A, you have sewage that is being emitted to the water bodies. Okay, so you have sewage that is emitted into the water bodies without being treated. Developing countries face a very big problem of this because they do not have the sewage treatment plants. Cities like Pune emit these sewage waste into the Mulshi river. In Mumbai it is emitted into the sea. In Delhi it is emitted into the Yamuna river. So what it causes firstly is it causes health issues. So you have a lot of epidemics of malaria, you have a lot of epidemics of diarrhea, or you have epidemics of various diseases because of this. So you have health issues, epidemics. Okay. The second thing that they emit is plastic and non-degradable waste. A lot of human consumption is based on packing, is based in packed products. So you have edible products like fruit, wafers. You have edible products like fruits, etc. That is packed into plastic thing. You have other electronics items that is packed into plastic things. These plastic and non-degradable waste do not degrade in the environment and are let into the sea or on the roads. This is finally from the roads, it is finally goes into the sea, where it affects the flora and fauna. Okay. Now, the sewage, coming back to the sewage, also causes growth of plankton. High sewage causes growth of plankton. This plankton consumes all the oxygen in the water and causes a phenomena called eutrophication. Eutrophication is a phenomena where the water does not have any more oxygen left because of excessive plant growth. This leads to death of fish and the water turns blackish in color. This actually kills the entire water body and the water is no longer even potable. Okay, so these are the things that happens because of urban waste. Okay, now urban waste is very high in developing countries. So the cities of India, any city of India is causing a lot of problems because of urban waste. The next thing that you have in urban waste is landfills. So this non-degradable and other kind of waste, solid waste that you have is filled up in landfills in order to in order to dispose it off. This leads to methane formation. This leads to fires which are not safe for humans. In Mumbai recently there was a fire in the Devnar dump yard. And climate change. Methane is a climate change gas or global warming gas. Okay, so these are the different types of things that happen because of urban waste. Okay, remember these things, remember the examples as well. Now let us look at the industrial waste. So firstly, you have chemicals from leather industry, paper industry, textile industry, etc. You have detergents that are used to wash certain products that go into the rivers. Okay, then you have metals, metal particulate matters that go into the river. Then you have solid waste like plastic, polymers, etc. that go into the water bodies or that is disposed of by these things. Okay, the important thing to remember here is mercury poisoning. Minamata conference. I'll explain you. This is in Japan. Now, what is the important thing that you need to remember about the rivers or the mercury poisoning? Mercury is emitted from these industries, which goes in the water bodies. It is consumed. It goes in the plants from the water bodies. From the plants, it is consumed by the fish. These fish are consumed by us. So it rises up in the food chain as we go up, and it accumulates into humans and other this thing. There's something called as bioaccumulation, which you'll be listening to or you will be studying about in environment and ecology. So this phenomena was observed very deeply in Minamata, that is in Japan. The jellyfish in Minamata have outgrown themselves in humongous sizes because of this mercury poisoning. So they decided to have a conference there to address this issue. India is a signatory to the Minamata conference. You'll be reading more about this when you go into environment and ecology. Apart from that, do not go too deep into this because there are a lot of factors which you will deal with later on. Now, industrial waste हो गया, फिर you have something called a nuclear waste. So you have radioisotopes, which cause leukemia and disability. The nuclear reactors give out nuclear waste in the form of smaller or less heavier elements. However, they are radioactive elements and these have to be disposed of properly. However, in many countries like United States, they have not yet been disposed of. So currently United States has 20 to 30 odd years of nuclear radioisotopes, which they have not been able to find a solution to or store in. So they store this at the bottom of the sea. So what they do is they will fill up barrels with nuclear isotopes and cement and throw it at the bottom of the sea. However, these radioisotopes leak from there into the fish, and from the fish they come into our system. See, we are a part of this ecosystem. We have to understand one thing, that unless and until we completely destroy something, it will come back to harm us in some way or the other. So this is one more impact that is there of nuclear waste. Okay. So the next thing that you need to know is, so this about completes your waste management thing. The fourth important thing that we talk about is soil erosion. Soil erosion, currently we have 75,000 million tons of soil that is eroded every year. That is a very big number. India itself has around 6,000 million tons erosion. Soil erosion leads to loss of fertility and less agricultural productivity. Extremely important soil erosion is found in Brazil, Amazon Valley, India, Ganga Valley. Okay, it was also found in the Yangtze River of China. However, by building the Three Gorges Dam, the problem of soil erosion has been curbed to some extent. So we've discussed the Three Gorges Dam in the resources of China when we spoke about that. Okay, so this is one more impact or a negative impact that humans have had on on the environment. The last but not the least, I'm writing it here. Okay. Last but not the least, the fifth impact that we've had is your desertification. Okay. So you have something called as desertification. This is due to excessive deforestation and overgrazing. Okay, so there is excessive deforestation and overgrazing which has led to desertification. What happens is when there is deforestation, the soil is exposed to the exogenetic forces of the earth like wind, river, etc. Wind and rainfall, etc. This causes the soil to be carried away to other areas and it is deserted. So example is the Thar desert is expanding, Sahara desert is expanding, and it is coming towards the fertile lands. In India itself, the Thar desert is expanding towards Punjab and Haryana and taking over the fertile lands of Punjab and Haryana. Okay, so this is a very serious phenomena in Africa where 40% of the land is already desertified. In South Asia, you have 20% land that is being desertified. Okay, it is also an important phenomena in Latin America. So you will find that wherever there is a desert, this phenomena is observed more. What happens because of desertification is the soil or the arable land is covered by the desert soil, leading to loss of agriculture. Okay, so these are few phenomena that I wanted you to know from the impact of man on environment perspective. Okay, the rest you will study much more deeply when you go into physics, environment and ecology. So that about concludes our chapter topic of impact of man on environment.